Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Thursday, January 4th. Now, we just have a two-game slate today, so this is going to be a really quick video. I'm just going to go through the player pool from top to bottom, just hit on the options that I really like on this two-game slate. Won't go through each position just because I feel like I'll repeat myself. I'll mention guys over. So we'll start from top to bottom, work our way down, and talk about the options that I think are worth rostering on this two-game slate. So let's go ahead and just start up top. We do have Harden up here, but he's going to be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. We know that. So our most expensive player on this stud that we can roster is Russell Westbrook, $11,300 going up against the Clippers. Now, as I'm recording this video on Wednesday night, it's about 9:30 Eastern Time, Wednesday night as I'm recording this video. 3 of the 4 teams that are playing today are on a back-to-back. Golden State, they're on a back-to-back. Houston is on a back-to-back. OKC's on a back-to-back, but they're not going to be traveling. They're playing in LA on Wednesday. They're playing the Lakers in LA, so they're not going to have to do any traveling. So they are playing back-to-back, just talking about games. They're playing 2 games in a row, but they're not having to travel. So just make sure you note that I'm recording this on Wednesday night. I'm recording this before OKC plays Wednesday night. I doubt any injuries would happen, but make sure you take note of that. I'm recording this video before the OKC game on Wednesday. But yeah, like I said, looking up top here, Russell Westbrook leading the pack today, just the whole player pool. Going up against the Clippers, obviously Westbrook's a good play on this slate. If you can fit him in, he's definitely viable. The Clippers without Patrick Beverley are a defense we want to definitely attack. Not as good defensively against the point guard with Beverley out. So Westbrook is a great play today if you can fit him in. We do have Chris Paul, who's still way underpriced in my opinion. Paul had sort of a solid game. I believe he almost had a triple-double Wednesday night. That game just finished as I started recording. And Paul didn't see a price increase at all. He's still too cheap in my opinion. With James Harden off the court, Paul's just going to see such a high usage rate. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. He's definitely a threat for a triple-double every night with James Harden off the court. And in a fast-paced game against the Warriors, not the best matchup. We know the Warriors are a good defensive team. But if the Rockets want to keep this game close, Chris Paul is going to be one of the reasons why. I think if you don't want to pay for Westbrook, taking that discount going down to Chris Paul makes so much sense today. Just because Chris Paul is so cheap at $9,800, he's still way underpriced in my opinion. I think I'd much rather have Paul actually if we're just talking about the 2 studs up top. I think taking the savings off of Westbrook going down to Chris Paul makes a ton of sense today. But there are some value plays we can go to. A lot of guys feel a little bit underpriced on this slate. We might actually be able to fit in both guys. We'll try and find value later on in the video. But one thing I see here, looking at some of these Warriors starters, their stud players, all of them seem just like $1,000 too cheap. Kevin Durant seems $1,000 too cheap today. Same with Curry. Same with Draymond Green, who's way too cheap in my opinion at $6,600. Even Klay Thompson seems too cheap at $6,100. Not really sure what happened there, but maybe something messed up in the algorithm. DraftKings didn't price the Warriors right in my opinion. They're way too cheap. And I would say my favorite of like the big 3, the big 4 Warriors. Obviously we know Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are good plays, especially when they're sub 9K. They're way too cheap. But Draymond Green's a guy that really sticks out to me today at just $6,600. That is too cheap of a price tag for Draymond Green. I think he's a great cash play on this slate. If you're playing cash, I don't know how Draymond doesn't pay out this price tag. On the year, he's been averaging 36 DraftKings points, and at $6,600, that's almost 6x salary. So even if Draymond just has a normal game where he goes for like 6-7 points, about 6-7 rebounds, 6-7 assists, that can get you like 30 DK points right there, and that's a mediocre game from Draymond. And he obviously has triple-double upside to where he can return nearly 8-9x on this price tag. So Draymond Green is $6,600. Just looking at the big 4 for the Warriors, he is a guy that really sticks out to me. Really like him on this slate, especially in the fast-paced game against Houston. Draymond Green, way underpriced in my opinion. Great play at $6,600. But obviously looking at the other Warriors, KD's a great play. I think I prefer Chris Paul. Same with Curry. I think I prefer Chris Paul over Curry. But for tournaments, if you need the savings, going to Kevin Durant, going to Steph Curry, definitely does make sense. I don't think I'm going to be on Blake Griffin on this slate because of how we have Durant and Curry right there in price, so I think I'd rather have. But it is a 2-game slate. We can kind of really roster anybody. So Blake Griffin, you obviously know, on a 2-game slate. Definitely a good play, but I think I prefer Curry, prefer Durant over him. Looking for other options we can go to in this mid-tier, if there are options here that we like. This isn't the best matchup for Lou Williams. He's probably going to see plenty of defense from Paul George, and that is a tough matchup. George is a solid defender, but Lou Will just been playing really well lately. Even with Blake Griffin coming back, he's still been scoring the ball a ton. 40 and 33 real-life points his last 2 games, 59 and 43 DraftKings points. And in a game against the OKC that could be competitive, this game is being played in LA. The Clippers are back to full strength. I think this is going to be a competitive game. So Lou Will is 7,200 in that 7K range. I think he makes a lot of sense today. In the 6K range, you got Draymond Green here, who I really like today. I think you can go to Capella in the 6K range if you're talking about centers. If you want to play him at center today, if you're not going to play Draymond Green at center, I prefer Draymond over Capella if we're just talking about centers that are eligible, or players that are eligible at center. But Capella definitely makes sense. I do worry about him getting kind of run off the court here. He did only play 18 minutes in the season opener against Golden State. But with no James Harden, they're going to need Capella on the court. They're going to need all the guys they can get for scoring. And we know Capella is always a threat for a double-double. He can put up definitely a 20-10 type of game, put up 35, 40 DraftKings points in this spot. So I prefer him over DeAndre Jordan if we're just talking about centers. Capella over Jordan, in my opinion, today. Other options in the 6K range, you got Eric Gordon at 6,500. Don't know if I want to go to him on this slate. I think he's going to see some Klay Thompson defense. And with just how he's priced at 6,500, I think we can get away from him and go to Chris Paul if we're getting exposure to the Rockets. You do have Klay Thompson, who is 400 less, and Klay Thompson seems way underpriced today. Great fast-paced game against Houston. Thompson played well in the beginning of the year against Houston. Put up 37 DraftKings points, played 38 minutes against this team. And with how he's priced at 6,100, I think it's very likely Thompson can return 6x on this price tag. Thompson seems way underpriced in my opinion today. I think he's a great option, just 6,100. And maybe if we want to go to this 5K range here, if you do need to save at center, if you're not going to play Draymond at center or a guy like Capella, Steven Adams going up against the Clippers, I think makes a lot of sense. DeAndre Jordan, not the best defender, and the Clippers have allowed plenty of fantasy points to center this year. With Steven Adams' price tag at just 5,800, it's very likely that he's able to return value on this salary. So if you're not going to play Draymond or Capella at center, Steven Adams at 5,800, if you're going to that 5K range, definitely like him there. I think at shooting guard or small forward, Trevor Ariza is a really good play today. He's going to be needed a ton in this matchup for his defense. He's going to be needed to guard guys like Kevin Durant, maybe even Klay Thompson. Ariza is a solid defender. Did play 37 minutes in the season opener against the Warriors and put up 27 DraftKings points. We know Ariza is going to be locked in for heavy minutes every night. He's going to play almost 40 minutes a night, if not more than that. And with no Harden, Ariza is another guy that's going to really have to step up. He seems a little bit too cheap at 5,300. I think he's a good play if you want to play him at shooting guard or small forward. If you need to look, or if you're looking to save at those positions, Trevor Ariza in that 5K range, I think it makes a lot of sense today. And then trying to find value plays today, I think there are a couple of value plays, a couple of guys that are 5K and under. Right now I'm seeing two that really stick out to me. First off, Ryan Anderson at 4,300 going up against the Warriors. This is a good spot for Ryan Anderson, good fast-paced game. Did play well against the Warriors to begin the year, played 33 minutes and put up 30 DraftKings points. And with no Harden on the court, Anderson, another guy that's really going to have to step up for scoring. We know Chris Paul's going to be looking to kick the ball out to him a ton, get him plenty of open shots, fast-paced game. Really like Ryan Anderson as a value play. Same goes with Gerald Green at just 4K. He was another guy that I think makes a lot of sense. He was another guy that I thought made sense on Wednesday for value. Definitely think he makes sense today on Thursday for value. He did play about 25 minutes. I looked at the box score earlier before that game was almost over, and I know Green played in the mid-20s in minutes, and he had a solid game. I think he scored like 18 or 19 points, might have finished with like 26 DK points. So Gerald Green, a guy that's really going to have to step up for minutes, going to have to step up with production. They're going to need him to score the ball off the bench with Harden off the court. I think he makes a lot of sense as a value play today. If you're looking for a cheap option, just 4K, fast-paced game. Gerald Green, really good scorer. And in a fast-paced game, should have plenty of opportunities to score the ball. So going to him at 4K, another value play that I like. Say you plug in Anderson and Green as two value plays today. That's definitely going to free you up some salary to where you can fit in a stud. That'll leave you $69.50. And if you plug in another value play that we're about to talk about, that'll free you up even more salary today. So definitely possible to fit in Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul into a lineup today. I think there are some values that I like. Ryan Anderson, Gerald Green obviously being one of them. And then the last value I like today is PJ Tucker at 3,700 in that Warriors-Houston game. I feel like Tucker is another guy that's going to be needed here for minutes just off the bench. He is one of the Rockets' better defenders, him and Trevor Ariza, two of the really good defenders that the Rockets have. In this matchup to begin the year against the Warriors, PJ Tucker did play 28 minutes and put up 31 DraftKings points, had a very nice game. At just 3,700, he's very cheap today. Don't need much from him at all to return value on this salary. They're going to need his defense to guard Kevin Durant, to guard Klay Thompson, maybe even put him on Curry a bit. I have a feeling PJ Tucker is going to play at least mid-20s, if not close to 30 minutes in this matchup. It's just 3,700. He can grab like 6-7 rebounds, put up like 10 points, 6 rebounds, get you 20 DraftKings points easily. So PJ Tucker as a value play today at 3,700, I think he makes a lot of sense. I feel like the Rockets are going to be the team we go to if we need value, just because they have such a short rotation. They play their guys heavy minutes. So Ryan Anderson, Gerald Green, PJ Tucker, I think these are guys we're going to be really looking to for value plays today. That's really what I'm seeing for value, just looking for value plays, guys that are under 4K. I think that's really it for this slate, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, it's a 2-game slate, so this video is going to be pretty quick. I know I didn't talk much about some guys. I know I skipped over some guys like Paul George. I didn't really talk about Austin Rivers, didn't really talk about. But I don't think those are really guys. If I'm making one lineup today, I don't think those are guys I'm trying to force in, so I didn't really want to talk about them. Obviously, they're good plays in tournaments. It's a 2-game slate. You can kind of play anybody. But the guys that I skipped over are guys that I'm not really trying to force into my lineups today. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this slate, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you have not already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. I do upload these videos daily. They're usually a lot longer than this. I usually go more in depth. But since it's just a 2-game slate today, don't have a lot to talk about. But hopefully the video still helped you and you were able to gather some early thoughts on this slate. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And good luck tonight. Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. Huh? What? Yeah, neck on fro. Whoa, 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 whoa.